Welcome to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here on GGR. Yes, GGR Radio. As I always say, download the Live 365 app. If you're listening, you already have. Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your mom's friends, tell your father's friends, tell your friends. Post it on Twitter, that kind of thing. There's a lot on Live 365, a lot more just besides me. There's podcasts, there's music, there's a ton of programming, and it's all free. So if you get a chance, please tell your buddies, download it. We're trying to build up the station here. I constantly have some sort of medical setbacks. I've been setting us back for a while, from stents in the heart to knee replacement surgery, then falling down the stairs in the snow and ice a few weeks back and damaging that new replaced knee. Tore their ligaments, dislocated the kneecap, just seen the orthopedic. We're going to give it another 6 to 8 weeks, see what happens before we go cutting into the leg again to correct. There's a possibility things can heal on their own. But today, for that matter, I was talking to Towers and Tunnels, that foundation, that very good foundation. It helps first responders, wounded war vets. It's a great organization. Looks like we may be producing a show. My high school kids producing a show promoting tunnels to towers, and maybe keeping the memory of 9/11 alive. All right, before we go, let's talk. What we're going to talk about today. Well, hopefully the last of the super cold days. We're talk. There's the attack on Iran that's going on. That's what everybody's talking about. Talk about Christ Hospital. We'll look at Christ Hospital. Is going to be quite a few things in the news there. The city's broke. We'll go into that a little bit more. They're actually sending a begging letter out. Talk about some bridges, Pompidou, space. There's a lot going on. But let's break for commercial. You'll listen to the City Show here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
And here, RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JC Penney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City. shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back. City Show here on GGR. Pat O'Melia, live. Next week or so, start taking calls during the show. Right now, it's like a three-handle wrench taking the calls, so we're going to work on that during the week in the studio, and we're going to figure out how to do this with one person. Now, one person would be me, but we'll get this going. We'll figure it out. We're fairly smart people in the studio. Last super cold days, hopefully we're experiencing right now. Now, it's going to be like 30 degrees tonight. As long as we're no more than 10, 15, get some more. A lot of melting. Had a lot of melting last few days. Jersey City, they were picking up the snow in all the main thoroughfares there, Palisades, Central Avenue, that sort of thing. North Bergen has done an excellent job getting the snow out of there. All the municipalities pretty much have. What a hellacious snow season we had this year. But I did get a little electric snow shovel. But the storms are too big for it. Going to handle up to 4 to 6 inches. And, I had bad knees. I'm out there trying to push this thing. Also, but I did see this little snow plow with a heated plow on it. I got to research it more. Supposedly it's like $800 to $1,000. I will be investing in that. As soon as I got an extra $800 to $1,000, I got some work I got to do on cars. I got some bills coming up. But I'm certain this thing works on propane that heats up that blade. And you just cut right through the snow. But you're not plowing, you're melting. That's the snow blower plow for me. That's what that is. Well, hopefully, we're in March. March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb, blah, 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 blah. As long as it isn't February. February's been a crappy month for me all the time. But hopefully, no more super cold, which was killing my knees. And I'm trying to recover from the knee surgery and the stupidity of falling downstairs. And then the cold weather is just killing me. As I said at the beginning of the show, all the news, everything is about the attack on Iran. If you are of a certain age, you remember the Iran hostage crisis, where they had American citizens for 444 days. And it would have gone further if Reagan didn't win that election. Ronald Reagan, President Reagan. Now, Jimmy Carter, his whole administration, his presidency failed because of the hostage crisis. His rescues failed. It was just, didn't work out. Jimmy Carter's a nice guy. But, yeah, he went down as the worst president, well, next to the worst president in my lifetime now. Biden took that spot. I'm glad Jimmy Carter lived long enough to see that. The Ayatollahs and the ruling parties in Iran, the minute Reagan's hand came off that Bible when he took the oath of office, they released them as hostages because Reagan was not putting up with any of this. And I don't see how Iran didn't possibly think Trump wouldn't put up with this. Now, first off, whatever your opinion is, we owe Iran from those hostages. Second thing is, you can't let them have any possibility of a nuclear weapon. I don't mean reaching us with it. That probably never happens, like Korea. Korea's never going to reach us with their ballistic missiles, but they can get Japan and some of our bases. Iran, if it had any semblance of a nuclear weapon, they would use it. They would use it in the Middle East. They would use it against our bases. They would certainly use it against Israel. Yeah, there's a lot of countries with nuclear power. Iran is the most unstable one that would have had it. Now, we already lost, I think, to date, 11 U.S. soldiers, pilot soldiers, naval personnel in the conflict, and that's unfortunate. You know, my prayers go out to the families. It's a tremendous loss. But you can't let Iran have anything semblance of nuclear, because they would lose. When a country's whole anthem was death to America, you know, terrorism across the country, across the globe, A lot of it focused at us, attacks here and there. Yeah, Obama tried to appease them. Bush tried to appease them. Biden appeased them. Obama sent a plane load of money, billions of dollars on pallets. I don't remember I've seen the picture. Pallets of money. Biden dropped the sanctions. Bush just kept playing footsie with them. I think maybe Clinton was tough on him, but Trump was super tough on him. And you have to be. Unless you want constant war, there would be constant war in Iran. Iran is not going to win. There is no scenario where Iran comes out anywhere on top, anywhere in the middle. They will be devastated. There will be regime change. There will be a different Iran. And that'll stabilize the Middle East. The things in Gaza, Hamas, the Saudis, Kuwait, all that. That'll all simmer down. That was that, and of course, Israel. There was that one situation, which is always Iran. And Iran, again, death to America, death to America. All the United States and Trump said, you're not going to have nuclear. You agree no nuclear, we back off. And, there was no way in hell they were a match for our armed forces. They reported today, Iran had a whopping 11 naval ships. They have none anymore. They're not going to have any air superiority. They just seen that in 6 months ago when the United States and Israel blew up their nuclear capabilities, which they went right back trying to restore. So air supremacy will be achieved probably tomorrow. And it's just a matter of how bad you want to bomb the hell out of Iran until they just give up. Now, the residents, they're partying in the streets. They're celebrating. Some reportedly 35,000 were killed in the protest over the last month or so. What the hell kind of country does that? Now, again, I've said it many times before. We're not the world's police. That's not our job. But in a case where we have a country that is striving for nuclear power, no, let me take that back. Nuclear weapons, not nuclear power. And with a constant, that was printed on their money, death to America. Yeah, you can't let that type of country have nuclear power, nuclear weapons. We even offered to give them nuclear power. We'll handle your energy needs. You're just not going to have the kind of nuclear capabilities to build weapons. Didn't go for it. And it's just a matter of time. You see the United States is building up the Armada out there. You have two of the carriers. You got the Ford and the Abraham. Destroyers, submarines. What do you think the United States is doing out there? They were building that up for the last 2 weeks, but they're negotiating. You want to negotiate? Death to America. Now, most of the military and leaders in Iran are gone. They were taken out. We'll see what kind of leadership takes their place. Hopefully, it makes for a calm Middle East. You can probably, in my lifetime, I don't think there was ever peace in the Middle East. There may be now. Maybe the proxies that Iran funded with money we gave them and sanctions we relieved, they turn over a new leaf. We'll see about what the population of Iran does, what the residents and citizens of Iran does, and hopefully they see the right thing. The threat of nuclear war, threat of any war in the Middle East, subsides. And like I said, in my lifetime, peace in the Middle East wasn't obtainable. It looks like it's going to be attainable now. And that's a good thing. Because, the looming threat, the only other looming threat with unstable is Korea. But I'm sure the Kim guy is looking at what's going on. Probably calling Trump saying, hey, we're okay, you and I, right? Yeah, we're good. We're good, right? It happens to me. One thing you did say through Venezuela and with Iran, just how sophisticated and powerful our military is. That is friggin' impressive. Now, we lost some planes because Kuwait shot them down by mistake. But if I'm not mistaken, Kuwait has our defense capabilities. We sold it to them, if I'm not mistaken. And fortunately, the pilots were able to eject. Probably a good idea to tell everybody else involved, just stand back. Stand back and let the United States and Israel get the air supremacy, whatever kind of Air Force Iran has, it's not something we're going to be concerned about. So this is just back off, everybody. We'll take care of what's going on here. Don't be shooting at anybody if you don't know who the hell you're shooting at. And like I said, fortunately, those pilots are safe. They're in stable condition. But we did lose, I think it's 11 at last count. And that's unfortunate. And hopefully it's not in vain that there is no more war. There's no more capability of making war in the Middle East. And, you could get things going and rebuild Iran, whatever you got to do there. Of course, the United States will blow you up, and then we'll build you up. The Gaza Strip, all that. Amazing. Think about that. It could be calm. If we keep talking about oil production and green energy, longer than my lifetime and probably my kids' lifetime, we're still going to be very reliant on petroleum. Be amazed if we can just have a free flow of oil and energy coming out of the Middle East instead of worrying about constantly embargoes here or blocking the Straits of Hormuz, that sort of thing. Right now, Iran can't even plant mines or sink any of the ships that are already sunk. Or as Trump said, they're floating at the bottom of the sea or the ocean. Yeah, they're floating there, President. No problem with them. Now, I know a lot of people don't like them. They're probably half the country. It depends on the situation. First off, Donald Trump shouldn't be allowed to just speak off the top of his head. Now, maybe he can't read teleprompter. I don't know what it is. But when he goes freelancing there, free-flowing, things get interesting with him. I'm going to right now say I probably agree with 75% of what Trump has accomplished in the United States. I don't get along with everybody. I don't agree with everybody. Like I said, I've been married 47 years to my wife. I don't agree with everything she says 100% of the time. But I got to agree with him with the war. I know we're talking about the tariffs. It looks like the tariffs actually starting to pay off. So the tariffs look like they won. And like I said, when he first got elected, let me look at what he's done a year later. I'm probably in favor of about 75% of what he's accomplished. Now, in Washington, their head would explode. You say that right now. I know they're going to look about the Wars Power Act. Trump, all of the Wars Powers against, as far as I know, how it's being reported. He didn't ask Congress for permission. He doesn't have to, according to the Wars Powers Act, for 60 days, and plus an additional 30. And now everything's coming out. Obama, bombed 7 or 8 nations. Didn't get any congressional approval, but everybody has amnesia. They forget about that. I appreciate taking away the risk of a nuclear attack. Like I said, I don't think Iran, in my lifetime, would have the ability left untapped to reach us. But in very short order, they would have the ability to reach their neighbors in the Middle East and our allies, of course, Israel, and our naval installations with smaller nuclear weapons. Kind of like Korea. Korea, can they reach us, the United States? Nah. Can they reach Japan? Yes. Can they reach some other countries? Yes. So that's one of the things you have to be concerned about. And probably, like I said, if I'm Kim, seeing what happened in Venezuela and seeing what just happened in Iran, I was like, we should probably be good there with the United States. We don't need warmongers out there, even though right now we're looking like the warmonger. But taking away that nuclear threat is super important. Yeah, probably all my life, ever since the hostage crisis, these guys were talking about nuclear. Israel was sabotaging them, and of course we just recently blew them up about 6 months ago. But immediately they went back. They're like ants. They were starting to rebuild their nuclear capability. They put a roof over some of the nuclear sites. That didn't trick anybody. But hopefully, the citizens of Iran will stand up and say, all right, we've had enough of this. Let's go back to how it was in the 70s. They showed pictures on some of the shows on how it was in Iran back in the 70s when the Shah of Iran was one of the things. It looked like the United States. And the other thing interesting about Iran, when they're showing footage, there's like no high rises, no really sophisticated buildings like you see in China or in Saudi Arabia, or of course in the United States with the high rises and all. And it seems like all their effort was towards terrorism and trying to create war and trying to get nuclear and try to become a superpower. And now they're paying the price for that. But hopefully, as I said before, there will be peace in the Middle East in our time. And that's really saying something. Let's get to the local matters here. Turn my phone on. Dun, 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 dun. Christ Hospital. I'm sure you all know by now. Christ Hospital, as first they try to close it, telling the state they're closing it, and they would run the ER. Now, they were running the ER for a while. Then it was announced they're going to close the ER. Now, if you remember the debates that we produced in the studio for NJCU and the Hudson Media Group, then we did a runoff debate between Solomon and McGreevy. Christ Hospital was in the forefront of all those debates, and Solomon was adamant the hospital was not going to close. Well, we were going to try to close it last Friday, and there was a stay. Or actually, no, was it Friday? Friday, last Friday. They were going to close it, and there's a stay for 2 weeks. But it looks like they will eventually close it. Can we find another operator? Can the state step in here? Because there's a problem. If the only hospital we have in Jersey City is RWJ Barnabas, the Jersey City Medical Center, there's a problem there. We're either the largest or the second largest in the state, and we only have one hospital. You got to have some options. And the Heights, the Christ Hospital has been there, got to be 100 years. Got to be. And it's amazing what happened there. You know, it goes back to the CarePoint guys, where the accusations where they were funneling millions of dollars out of CarePoint Hospital into the pockets of the investors. That's probably something that should be looked at and maybe investigated. But, yeah, that's already come and gone. Now we're talking about Hudson Regional. They took over the CarePoint hospitals, Bayonne, Jersey City with Christ Hospital, and Hoboken Hospital about a year ago. And they were talking about they were going to invest $300 million, and life was going to be grand. The hospitals would be updated. There'd be no threat of closing. Everything's great. Then there was some kinks in the armor starting to show up. They wanted I forget how many millions out of the state. It was $75 million. And Brian Stack and Raj and our state leaders were all kumbaya with that. I remember texting Stack saying, wait a minute here. They were talking about putting $300 million in the hospitals. Now they want like $50 or $70 million from us, the state. Can't do that. These guys just took over with a ton of promises and none of them came true. Christ Hospital, for whatever reason, seems to be the one hospital that they're having these problems with. I understand there's some layoffs in Hoboken, but all the problems that they talked about is why Christ Hospital is closing, the reimbursements from the state, uninsured patients, charity care, the big, beautiful bill. They only seem to be affecting Christ Hospital. Now, you also you may recall that Christ Hospital, the new owners, filed a permit to demo Christ Hospital and build condominiums there. And, of course, that was shot down by the city. I know Fuller put in zoning years ago concerning stopping any kind of development on the site outside of a hospital use. And then the Jersey City recently just tightened that up. All the problems that HRH is saying affected Christ Hospital didn't seem to affect the other hospitals. Didn't seem to affect Bayonne. Didn't seem to affect Hoboken. Didn't seem to affect Secaucus. Just Christ Hospital. But Christ Hospital has primo real estate on the cliffs. You can see the skyline. You're not going to build anything to block that view in downtown Jersey City or Hoboken. It is perfect real estate. There's a guy, Conrad, years ago in Jersey City, the guy that saved the Brennan Courthouse, big historical guy. He was the first one. This is going back in like the 80s, concerning about Christ Hospital and the property. Saying somewhere along the line, that property is going to become very expensive, very desirable, and somebody's going to want to knock down that hospital. Lo and behold, 40 years later, here's what we got. What needs to be done with Christ Hospital? Now, again, with the whole CarePoint organization, I thought the county should have gotten involved with the CarePoint not-for-profit. I'm not sure the CarePoint not-for-profit was the best, but there was an alternate there. The county and the municipality should have gotten involved. You could have merged in Secaucus or the Behavioral Center Meadowview into the CarePoint group, and there would have been the 4 hospitals. You don't want to run the hospital, but we could have got good hospital management. There's some people, I don't want to mention names right now, who are very capable of running those hospitals. And the county and the municipalities would have had their hand on the wheel. If you wanted to do something about reimbursement from the state of New Jersey, believe me, the county of Hudson and Craig Guy would have been ideal to go down to Trenton, whether it was Murphy or Sherrill. Say, listen, we got this hospital here. Can you improve the rate of the charity reimbursement? Can we get what assistance and what kind of grants or whatever we needed from the state? You would have had a better chance with the county of Hudson and the 3 municipalities having hands on that wheel, Bayonne, Jersey City, and Hoboken, than this group that's running it now. We should have done that. We should have at least given that nonprofit at least 3 or 5 years to see what was going on and what we could have made out of that. And we could have taken those hospitals. We could have shared service with the hospitals, with the schools and police, whatever we needed to do medical-wise. Senior services with the health departments of all the cities and the county health department. There was a lot that could have been done, but would have had to been managed. And maybe that's the thing that scares people in the municipalities and maybe even the county, that would have had to be managed. But again, there is personnel out there that we could have called in. Former leaders of the Jersey City Medical Center we could have brought in. But we didn't do that. We got sold a bill of goods. And listen, the HRH made a lot of political donations. They spent almost damn near $1 million. And that because they were civically minded, mind you. Almost $1 million in political donations. And here's what we got. Bayonne, I remember there's no way Jimmy Davis wanted CarePoint, HRH in there. Seem to get along with them now. We had a problem in Jersey City with HRH, not a problem. I don't know, maybe it was the donations. But something needs to be done. And when I come back from commercial, an investigation has to be done. All right, right now you're listening to The City Show here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JC Penney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. nursery and private elementary schools all on site, 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
All right, I'm back. You listen to the City Show here on GGR. Don't forget, make a note to tell your friends to download the Live 365 app. A lot going on Live 365. Besides my programming, and we got some new programming coming. For that matter, I was talking to one of our doctors who will be doing a doctor show, medical call-in show. We got some things going on. Every time I get a roll going, I get kicked back health-wise. So hopefully I stay on my feet for a change. No pun intended there with the knee issues. We got the town hall meetings. I spoke to just about all of the Jersey City Council people. And I'm going to talk to the North Bergen people, about them also doing town halls. Especially want the police department to do it. And I wouldn't mind getting DPW involved in those sort of things, so you can know what's going on with DPW. So those are the kind of things we're working on. Well, let's get back to what we're talking about with Heights University Hospital, as we know it as Christ Hospital. The Hudson County Commissioners are looking to see if they have the actual power to do an investigation into what occurred here with the CarePoint hospitals, the three of them. They're looking to form a committee, and they're looking at getting legal opinions right now. If they can form a committee and empower it to investigate Hudson Regional Hospital with subpoena power. And that gets interesting. That would be bringing in the owners of the system now to explain what happened and how did this unravel so quickly. Now, supposedly there was one of the stories in the news is that they had invested over $100 million in the Christ Hospital. Oh, you effing kidding me? $100 million. There's talk about the friggin' buildings in the state of disrepair. That medical building, half of the doctors are already gone. There's problems in all the facilities there. It just fell into a state of disrepair. Well, I don't know where you put $100 million. Or maybe you put it in your pocket. I don't know where it went, but it ain't going to have those buildings as far as I can see. From what I can see. All right, that seems to be a real reach there, in my opinion. But that's to be seen. That's why you do an investigation. And you bring these people before the commissioners and the legal power of the county of Hudson. You may have to include Jersey City in this and the other municipalities. But there has to be an answer how this went to hell in a handbasket in a year. When there was $300 million, that was like a lottery. We're going to invest $300 million. That didn't happen. And a hospital with the best property in real estate potential is the one that's we're looking to close because they can't make it. We're not getting reimbursements. I assume you get reimbursements throughout the system. They don't just send money to each hospital. I'm sure they send it to Hudson Regional Hospital, and they disperse it between their hospitals. I don't think they're cutting checks for Heights University Hospital and Bayonne University Hospital and Hoboken University Hospital. I don't think that's how it works. I could be wrong. And, of course, you got Seahawk's hospital there, the Meadowlands Hospital, or whatever the name of it is out there now. You need to investigate this. You need to bring the people involved. Plus, you got to figure out the ownership structure. Now, in the case of Christ Hospital, you got HRH running the building, but you have a different property owner, as we understand it right now. That has to be sorted out. Who is responsible for what? or are we just going to do another thing where you just drain money out of these hospitals? And this time they'll be even worse than they were before. So I applaud Commissioner Anthony Romano with the Hudson County Commissioners, Billy O'Day, and the rest of these commissioners who are looking to form that committee. So the next commissioner meeting coming up, maybe we have an answer to that. And we find out, can they do this investigation? Will they have subpoena power to bring in the officers of the Hudson region? I know Billy was talking about going back to Billy O'Day, Commissioner Bill O'Day, going back to where CarePoint was funneling money out of the place. I don't know if that makes sense, but I wouldn't be surprised, mind you, if you found many of the same names involved with the operation of these hospitals as it was 10 years ago when they were just dragging money out of there. You know, for a while, Christ Hospital was doing well. They had the foundation with Joe Panapinto. You know, one of the leading figures in Jersey City, probably one of the best developers in Jersey City. God has been investing all his life in Jersey City, going before the Renaissance going on. He was building in Jersey City going back in the 70s. He headed up the foundation. They would charity functions, that sort of thing, to get more money to the hospital. Then, boom, broke. But as it turned out, there was money being taken by the principals. Yeah, maybe you go that far. I don't know. You know, that's really what the water under the bridge there. You know, you can't change anything. Everything was done legally, or these guys would have been brought up on charges. We got to look at what the problem is now. What happened in the last year? Why it's so fresh in everybody's mind, by the way. What the hell happened here? How do we go from, it's going to be a great thing, all four of the hospitals together, we're going to be great, everybody's doing a happy dance. Remember that? A year ago, $300 million, the hospital to save, everything's going to be great, the unions are happy, everybody's happy. They're doing it, look like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers out there, And here we are. Christ Hospital is probably going to close. I don't know how much oomph Solomon has. It's a very expensive to run a hospital. Yeah, I don't think we take the hospitals away, but we got to find out what the ownership structure is, who's calling what shots, who's responsible for what. That has to be determined. Right now, we don't know who that is. We know who the faces are, but what are their actual roles in the four hospitals? Well, actually, I think I know the roles in the Meadowview Hospital in Secaucus. What are the roles in Hoboken, Christ Hospital, and Bayonne? That might be interesting. Yeah, that's a rock we want to look under and see what the hell is going on here. That should be interesting. So I'll follow up with Commissioner Romano and Commissioner O'Day for the next commissioner meeting and find out just what the situation is. Can we bring them in, HRH, and find out what the hell happened here under subpoena? Under, I'm saying, taking the oath. No perjury. So we'll see how that all goes. Where am I going next? The state is broken. The state is broken. Broke. The city, rather, is broke. The state is broke, too. Like I said, we're $250 million in the hole. Right now, the city is asking the state for distressed city aid in the tune of $100 million. Still leaving a significant $150 million to come up with. And they just sent off a letter that was published in NJ Globe with every elected leader in Hudson County signing the letter, explaining how Jersey City is an economic engine for the state of New Jersey and how Jersey City is going to have to give that special attention to get it back on its feet after allegedly, maybe that's something we should also look into too, allegedly 12 years of full-up running the city into the ground. Now, I said when Solomon was going to become mayor, when he gets into the mayor's office and opens those desk drawers, demons are going to jump out of there. Boy, do those demons jump out of there. How bad is the situation? Was Fulop aware of it? Was he kicking cans down the road? Was he manipulating? Did he really sell 1,000 properties? Like 7 or 8 properties a month for the entire time he was the mayor of Jersey City? I don't know. That has to be shaken out somewhere. Maybe the city should say, all right, what do you say we get a committee together with some subpoena power and we bring in the past administrators for Jersey City and find out what the hell happened here. How the hell did we get $250 million in whole? Answer these questions. What happened? That might be interesting. But right now, we're looking for distressed city aid. I know there's some people in Trenton that say, I don't think so. Because, a lot of municipalities they have, especially in Hudson County, a lot of them are having money problems and statewide. one of the biggest problems we have is the schools. We have to come up with a solution for school funding. And it has to be a universal solution throughout the state. Right off the bat. We don't need so many. So it was like 900 school districts, ridiculous amount of school districts. We don't need it. We can get by with 21 school districts. All those pensions, and all those benefits, and all those salaries, and all the redundancy disappears, and you're paying for that. You have to have one flat rate per student. It can't cost $36,000 in Jersey City to educate a student, and it's $19,000 in Toms River. There's a problem there, and less as you further get south. It's the same state. That has to be changed. And once you get a handle on the school funding, which is the third leg of your tax bill, and right now in Jersey City, you're looking at $1 billion plus, and I'm sure that's going to go up. It's not enough money. You know, where you're looking at schools that are costing $58 million a year to run. My old grammar school, 23 school. I think I figured that was like $58 million a few years ago to operate the school a year. $58 million. That we need to get a handle on. And once you get a handle on the school funding, then you can figure out what we can do here municipally. But the school taxes is crushing. And then you got the Jersey City, I think we're at, what, 740 million a year? As I said last week, you're going to have to make some cuts. Now, Solomon's doing everything he can. They haven't made those cuts yet. You're going to have to look at City Hall and the city as a whole and figure out, what do we do? What can we cut? Like I said, we should do a restart. Go back to when Gunn Cunningham was the mayor. Whatever programs were in operation then, fine. Anything we added since then, we should look at. We got to figure a way of controlling the money. One of the things we should do, and we should do it in earnest, is trash pickup. We just gave a regional another 5-year contract. And I think it's around almost $15 million a year. I heard it was going to go higher than that. I always hear numbers closer to $20 million a year. We can do that in-house and have something to show for it. We could get, for that $15 million a year, we could get garbage trucks, we get a building, we get land, we get employees, you get mechanics, you get diesel mechanics, welders, hydraulic mechanics, mobile service units, tire trucks, and we go and pick up the garbage ourselves. We'll need about 26 garbage trucks, and you're going to need spares. Figure 4 or 5 spares. The city even has some. Maybe we have to go too far out. But that would cost us, and I'm looking at the numbers. I got a background in that, setting up shops. I'm looking at capitalizing things over 5 years. You could capitalize over 10 years. We're not going to spend $15 million a year on our equipment, our personnel. The only numbers I don't have is the property value, where I would look at Dog Patch, my old neighborhood in Jersey City, where we would base the trash station, the equipment, and workers' comp I didn't have numbers for. And there's probably something else, but those are the 2 big numbers. We can do this ourselves. And not only can we do it ourselves and save money, you're not going to save drastically. Yeah, maybe, depending on how you want to capitalize it, but maybe $4 million a year. But the people of Jersey City, for that $15 million a year, they will see things they can reach out and touch. They can touch our garbage trucks. They can touch our land. They can touch the city's building. There's stuff there. It's not magical. It's not we're writing a check and the check is gone into the pocket of regional. And regional is horrible service. Simple as that. We all know it. Yeah, we're talking about it. It was a big thing during all the debates. Everybody had a problem with the garbage. How the F you can miss the back of the garbage truck when you're throwing the garbage in there is beyond me. But they do. The problem is you can't get another bidder. One of the problems is the bid Pacifics. You can only go 5 years. And that's the problem. I'm talking about I'm capitalizing things over 5 years. You may want to capitalize that further. But if you're getting a new bidder in there, you got a 5-year deal, they got to go out and buy those 26 garbage trucks and buy the spares and everything else I just mentioned. And by the time you pay for all that, the 5-year contract's over, you're stuck. You get you may be out of the contract. So that could change too. But what the city needs to do, and along with other municipalities and the county, is start doing things in-house like we used to do. Pick up our own garbage. You know, a lot of municipalities do it. North Bergen picks up their own. Bryan Stack and Union City picks up their own. It's not unique. We can do it. Street paving. Every time we do a street paving project, it's $12, $14 million a year. We used to do that. We don't do it anymore. We used to do that. Jersey City could take the lead on that, or the county could take the lead on that and be the road paver for the county of Hudson. Jersey City does it. We can get money. We can get business from the county and the municipalities and the state and do the roads around us. Things like that have to be done. It really gets down to a case of managing the city. How can you save the residents money instead of just reaching into their pocket? Like I said many times, it's easy to write a check with somebody else's money, and that's what we're doing. We got to start managing. We bring back the incinerator authority to take care of the trash contracts, bulk up the DPW, get some real quality techs in there, from carpenters to painters to whatever we need. You know, back when I was a kid, the DPW did everything. Oh, they reformed anything out. If there was going to be something done, DPW came in and did it. They were like the pros from Dover would come in. Those are the things we have to start doing again. We have to get a handle on the course of the city. That I haven't heard Solomon talk about yet. Or send letters to the state asking for money. But even if you got the $100 million, Mayor, still $1.50, $150 million in the hole. And you want to talk about affordability? Can't keep talking about affordability where the city keeps getting more and more expensive. Speaking of affordability, Pompidou, Pompidou. There'll be no more Pompidou. There's actually 2 Pompidou spaces right now. You got the one in 808 Pavonia Avenue. That's going to start construction soon. And the old Pat Side building, some of you remember it as a public service building on Sip Avenue. Solomon reached an agreement with Kushner, the developers of 808 Pavonia, and they're going to convert a decent amount of the 100,000 square foot space into affordable housing. And then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of it. Now, a little sketchy yet. There's still some details we work out. Does the city still own the affordable housing that'll be there? It's our 100,000 square feet of space. So whatever affordable housing we're putting in there, does the city of Jersey City own the affordable housing? Or do we make a deal that we'll give you this space back, Kushner, you build the affordable housing for us and operate? I don't know how that's working yet. And how many square feet of the 100,000 are being utilized for this? Because Solomon, I believe, is talking about putting some city departments in there or recreation. I personally would have rather seen us rent that space, lease it out, 10 years, 15 years at a clip, maybe $75 a square foot in a brand new building like that. Use that money to pay off some bonds. We could have paid off the Pat Side building that we're bonded out right now. Probably could have bought 54 Journal Square and married that up with the Lowe's Theater. I think there were other options. Where you're going to get some affordable housing units, okay, in this complex. But is that the best thing we could have done? I'm not sure. I think we could have got Kushner. For that matter, I had text Charles Kushner to say that maybe it'd be beneficial if you could find the city a tenant for that spot and get that 70 or maybe even more per square foot. But that's not going to happen. Elect me mayor, elect the Solomon mayor. We'll see how many units of housing and if we own the units. So right now, we own the 100,000 square feet. There's no reason why we wouldn't own the affordable housing units that will be part of that 100,000 square feet. I hate to find out that we made a deal. The Cushers are going to own it, and they're going to build it out for us, and we'll get to say it, Jersey City Housing on it, something like that. Hopefully, we got some real money coming in. Hopefully. We'll see how that all works. But like I said, I would have preferred to see that rented out where we were getting a nice check every month, and we could have used that money for, you could have paid some notes off. We could have paid for a couple of buildings. Ice Out. Ice Out has been popping up in some of the high schools here in Jersey City. Masab Ali's, there's some controversy going out. He was involved in one of the walkouts in Jersey City with the schools. And Bill O'Day has now chimed in. He's taken a side with Masab Ali. Those two guys are longtime friends. The high schools, the Jersey City Board of Education, would not let the students walk out of class. Well, no, they wouldn't, because they're minors. And the schools are responsible for the children during the school hours. Now, what they do after 3 o'clock, after the last bell, they're on their own there. But from the morning until that last bell, they are the responsibility of the schools. and they're minors. Just not let them walk out there. I don't think the parents would be too thrilled about this. Yeah, just let my kid walk out, not a problem. Now, Masab Ali is upset that he just can't walk into a school. You know, hey, listen, it ain't like when we were kids, where you could walk into a school. Now the doors are locked. We got cops in there. We got security guards. Not like when you and I went to school. But the bottom line is, these are minors. They just can't walk out of school during the school hours. That's just not going to happen. After school, you want to do a protest at 4 o'clock? Fine. But during the school day, those students are the responsibility of the Board of Education. And they just can't be bopping out of school to do some protesting. So, again, Bill O'Day's longtime friend, he's wrong, and so is Mahsab Ali. They're not walking out of school during the school hours. They are the responsibility of the Jersey City Board of Education. Something happens to one of those kids, ain't nobody going to give a damn about the protesting and all. They say, what happened? Why is this kid out of school? Why is he not in? Why wasn't he in class? And they go, well, you're going to let them protest. They can protest. Let them protest after school. They're not taking these kids out of school. Yeah, that's ridiculous what they were talking about doing there. Bayonne, in the Turnpike project. Oh, this thing just never ends. You know, why these deals aren't signed at the right time? Now there's supposed to be 2 bridges being built in Bayonne. If I were to get Jimmy Davis on his show, the former mayor, he's the Hudson County Sheriff now, and ask him what his opinion is on the bridges going into Bayonne, he would tell you right now, as I would tell you, the bridge that's there for a long time, they got to fix that bridge. That bridge should have been torn down the day after it was put up. I don't know who pocketed or what money in there, but that bridge was never not under repair. I've never, ever, and I've been driving since I'm 13. 56 years, right? 56? Yeah, 56 years I've been driving. I've never gone over that friggin' bridge without it not being repaired. That thing is potentially fall down anytime. So their proposal with the Turnpike project, which will widen the Turnpike, and guys, not all the traffic is being funneled into the Holland Tunnel. That's a big thing. Oh, you got to funnel it all into the Jersey City. No, it's going points south and north. You see the trucks? You want deliveries from Amazon, DHL, FedEx, UPS? Well, we're going to have to make more roads because we got those trucks on, plus the original trucks are there. The commerce has to move. And everybody keeps talking about, those trucks are going to come right to Jersey City. No, it's not all coming to Jersey City. The same amount of traffic is going to come to Jersey City. Nobody's going to Jersey City because we widen the Turnpike. Hey, they widen the Turnpike. Let's take a ride to Jersey City. Nah, that's not happening. The Turnpike will be widened going north and south, but they're going to build 2 bridges going into Bayonne. One going, I think the plan is directly into Bayonne. The other one would be ABC. The other exits going into Jersey City. Now they want to build 1 bridge. So, well, 1 bridge. Now, these people who are not engineers, they don't know the future. Yeah, I'm assuming the Turnpike Authority is pretty good at this. And the Turnpike Authority does run a pretty good road. Not as good as they used to. They used to run a very good road. That road was always smooth. There was no such thing as potholes on the Turnpike. There are now. If there was snow, there was no snow on the Turnpike. They always took care of that. But, I run the Pike a lot of potholes. Shouldn't be. Same thing with the Parkway. So they could step up on there. But engineering-wise, these guys are pretty good. If they think the future, and they're looking 50 years, 60 years in the future, 2 bridges are the idea, 2 bridges. Widening the Turnpike? I agree. Widening the Parkway? I agree. Especially when you get down to the shore. Once you get past exit 100 on the Parkway, local and expressway goes into, one side. We should widen that down there. But nobody's going to argue about that if you can get down to the shore of Atlantic City quicker. But, there's people, he keeps talking about Jersey City. We'll run the traffic into Jersey City. No, not all the traffic is going to Jersey. No more traffic is going to Jersey City than there is now. Like I said, widen the Turnpike isn't going to give anybody a reason to get up in the morning and say, let's take a ride to Jersey City. All right, let's break for commercial. You listen to the City Show. I'll be right back.
Here and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JC Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back. You're listening to the City Show here. Gas prices jumped. I was down in Tom's River today. I was down there yesterday also. It was $2.85 at the quick check for regular. Today it was $3.15. It went up like 30 cents a gallon overnight. And obviously this has to do with Iran. All right, we're out of show. By the way, everyone's saying fill up as soon as you can. We're out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.